Welcome to today's video. In this video, I'm going to share with you all the best neighborhoods in Vail, Arizona, according to yours truly. Now, Vail is located just outside of Tucson, and because I've lived in Tucson my entire life, I know the ins and outs of Vail very, very well, having both helped people appraise real estate out there many times and help people buy and sell homes. I'm going to put my experience to work, help you dive in and locate the best neighborhoods that you're going to want to pay attention to if you're considering living in Vail, Arizona. And as a bonus, I'm also going to share with you which of these neighborhoods are likely to be the best investment long term. If I was looking to buy in Vail with all of my 15 years of appraisal experience and experience as a real estate agent, which neighborhood I would likely place the bet of it getting the best return long term. You're not going to want to miss that. Let's jump in. Hey, I'm Rich, and if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything about lifestyle, real estate, and new builds in Tucson, Arizona, and the surrounding areas, you've definitely landed on the right page. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the little bell so you can be the very first to learn all that you want to know. All right, so I'm going to bring up Google Maps, and I'm going to show you around Vail, taking you on a bit of a Vail map tour so that you can see approximately where these neighborhoods are located, where some of the conveniences are located. We're going to dive in and kind of tool around. But if you look at my screen here on the map, you're going to see where Vail is located in correlation to Tucson. So it's just located to the southeast, about 20 minutes. It's less than a 30-minute drive to downtown Tucson, which is located here. And you've got access because it's right off of the I-10 corridor. You can easily navigate to Northwest Tucson. You've got Oro Valley off of Oracle Road here. So it's probably maybe an hour or so from Vail to, say, Oro Valley. You can also reach I-19, which heads south to the U.S.-Mexican border if you're doing international travel. Also, I-10 runs east. So if you're headed to New Mexico or Texas or wherever you're commuting to, I-10 is definitely a great place to be located. So you can see in correlation to where Tucson is, downtown, just for reference, is approximately here. And this is Vail. Now, Vail is fairly large. Generally, this is Vail. I'll show you just with my mouse where this is located. So you're probably just following this outline. This is the Rincon Mountains here. So this outline here, coming all the way down, and it actually extends pretty far down south, all the way down here past this Sycamore Canyon area and starts to wrap back up. So fairly large area, and it draws quite a big crowd because it combines quiet, scenic living, has easy access to a lot of the conveniences that I mentioned. There is more and more development that's happening in Vail. If I zoom in here, let me find the main drag for you here. So you've got a Safeway. You've got a grocery store. I think there's like some fast food. You got a gas station, McDonald's, Taco Bell. There's a dentist's office. You've got schools. There's a Walgreens. You know, what else do you have? You got really everything that you want. There's a little thrift store down here. There are some additional restaurants, Dairy Queen, Quick Mart. You got a grill and saloon. So you've got schooling, conveniences, gas stations, grocery stores, everything that you would come to expect, being very, very close and located pretty much right in the middle of Vail. So just wanted to show you a little bit of what Vail has to offer. Now, one of the things to point out in Vail, and one of the big draws to Vail, is that it is one of the top-rated school systems in Arizona. So the Vail School District is a big draw. It's highly acclaimed. The Vail School District makes it very popular for people with kids, and that being part of their consideration on where they want to live. Now, the desert in Vail, much like the desert in and around some of the suburbs of Tucson, it's gorgeous. We got, unique cactus. We've got unique plant life. You're going to see wildlife out here. There's rolling hills. You've got incredible views of the Rincon Mountains and other large surrounding mountains off into the distance. So if you like a picturesque desert scene, then Vail is definitely going to mark high on your list for sure. There's a really good community feel in Vail as well. Having spent a lot of time with both friends that live out there and then also in my career, 15 years of appraisal experience and helping people buy and sell homes, I've probably been party to a couple hundred real estate transactions in Vail. So I've spent a lot of time out there. And I've gotten to know neighbors, I've gotten the feel of streets, I've gotten the feel of the different communities. So it's a very tight-knit community. If you're looking for a vibrant community feel, small town atmosphere, kind of tight-knit but very friendly, then I think that that's something else to really consider and something that I wanted to highlight. I talked about the proximity to Tucson. Depending on what you're trying to get to, you're within a 30-minute drive to pretty much everything you could imagine, including some big employers like the University of Arizona Tech Park #1 is here, which is a big employer for the University of Arizona. You also have Amazon, which is located in this area. You've got Raytheon, which is located, huge government contractor, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, employer in Tucson, something like 12 or 13,000 jobs. So massive employer there. If you go a little bit further west, down here you've got Pima Air and Space. You've got the Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, which is a big draw because we've got a big Air Force installation here. So that employs quite a bit of people as well. The Keno Sports Complex. There's some really cool stuff happening here. If you have not watched my video on Tucson's first $1 billion project, I'll leave a link in the description. Go click on that link because you're definitely going to want to know what's happening with Tucson's very first $1 billion complex. It is a sports complex that's going to be located right here. And there's several different phases, but it is going to be a very quick and short commute to the sports complex from Vail. So again, if you've got kids or if you like adult league sports, they're going to have a lot of that as well. Now in this area, which is still pretty close, we're probably talking 20 minutes or so, 20-minute drive. This is that $1 billion project that Tucson just broke ground on October of 2024. This is the existing U of A Tech Park #2. So they've got Costco right here, Dave & Buster's, there's a movie theater, Walmart. You've got Geico Insurance, which is kind of one of their big corporate headquarters there. You got Planet Fitness. So this, you really start to get into like anything and everything from fast food to shopping to dining to really everything that you could ask for. Very close. Now, one of the things that I think really is attractive about Vail, when I'm working with people who are considering different areas, say Vail, Rancho Sarita, places on the outskirts of Tucson, Vail really has a big appeal because of its affordability. If you look at some of the outlying areas around Tucson, Vail is really one of the best locations, most convenient to a lot of stuff. And it's also one of the most affordable, and in many cases, the most affordable option based on the convenience that it gives you being on I-10. So I think that that's also something to really consider. Generally, home prices are going to be much lower than what you'll find in Tucson. You're a little bit off the beaten path, but as I've mentioned, you're within 30 minutes of like everything. So most people would consider that a very doable commute. And the last thing that I wanted to mention is because Vail is outside of Tucson, you got a lot more open space. You've got a lot more space between you and your neighbors generally. You've got a lot more trails, accessible hiking trails, biking trails. It really is kind of an emphasis and for outdoor nature lovers. There's numerous parks, plenty of desert landscape. So again, if this is something that's exciting to you, then this is a great area to take a look at. And if you want some more details on any of the neighborhoods I'm about to mention, or if you have a neighborhood that you'd like to get my insight on, being an experienced person in the area, I'd love to share some insights. I probably have helped people either appraise a home, sell a home, or somebody buy a home in that neighborhood. So you can DM me, grab my contact information, or even schedule a free Calendly Zoom call. Love to jump on a Zoom call, meet face to face virtually, and get connected that way. So coming up first on the list is Rita Ranch. Now, Rita Ranch is probably one of the largest and most well-established neighborhoods in Vail. And it is located very close to I-10. It really kind of hit its stride back in the late 80s to mid to late 90s was kind of the big push in Rita Ranch. And it's this area here. So Rita Ranch is off of Houghton Road and Valencia Road. As you can tell, it's a couple-minute drive to I-10, and then you're right on that corridor. You've got Raytheon, which is that huge employer right here at the University of Arizona Tech Park. So it is a large community. And Rita Ranch is super friendly to really a diverse group of people, whether you're a retiree, a single person, whether you've got kids, and whether you're a snowbird. Really, it is attractive to a wide range of people, and it's got amenities all over the place. It's making it ideal for anyone who likes to be in a community that has a lot to do just from a quick walk from their house. You've got baseball fields, soccer fields, swimming pools, parks. I mean, they throw a ton of community events. You can see that there's elementary schools, middle schools. They do have some commercial developments like a grocery store here. There is some food and restaurants, skincare place. There's all sorts of little businesses that are part of this community. I actually grew up going to Rita Ranch as I was probably 12, 13. We could get a ride out there from, if I could convince one of my family members, maybe my dad, to drive me out there. They had a great skate park in Rita Ranch that was like one of the only ones that Tucson had at the time. And so when I was young, I used to love going out there and skate, but that's just a small example of what they have available at a lot of these parks. So really appealing to people who have a use for a lot of those amenities. So Rita Ranch, one of the cool things also about Rita Ranch is because it's so established, you've got a wide diversity of properties, prices. And so if you're considering a resale home in Vail, I think this is a great option. And it's got a lot of history that you can look back on, just real estate history and data to be able to look at to see how it's performed over time. I know it's a big investment to buy a house anywhere. So as a realtor, I always offer that type of experience to clients that I work with that are looking to buy, just giving them a blink on historically what these neighborhoods have done. So next up on the list, I'm going to jump over to Rancho Del Lago. Now, Rancho Del Lago, similar to Rita Ranch, very amenity-rich community centered around the Rancho Del Lago golf course, and it is a master planned community. So Rancho Del Lago is located here, and it's fairly large. So you can start to see the golf course that's incorporated in here. If you're a golfer, that's definitely a big bonus. Or if you want to be a golfer, hey, there's always time, right? Could be your destination right here. They've got golf course view lots. You can see quite a bit of them. They have these man-made lake areas. No swimming or anything like that in them. So, if you're into that, don't get too excited. We are in Arizona. There's not quite a bit of, there's no lakes around Tucson. There are some lakes about 4 hours north. If you're into boating, jet skiing, fishing. There is a string of large lakes up north. It's about 3.5, 4 hours drive from Tucson, depending on if you're hauling a boat. If you're hauling a boat, it's probably 4.5 or so. But it's a string of lakes. I've gone up there many times. Spent a lot of time at Apache Lake, Roosevelt Lake, Canyon Lake. So there's 4 lakes up there that are all separated by dams. But if you're into that, we do have that in Arizona as well, and it's a big boat scene out there. So back to Rancho Del Lago. Rancho Del Lago is here now. Probably a little bit newer than generally a little bit newer development than Rita Ranch, but you're gonna get a lot of the same feel. Now, the big difference between Rancho Del Lago and Rita Ranch, you do have this golf course that's integrated in the entire community, and you've got, I feel there is a much more upscale emphasis on some of the neighborhoods in Rancho Del Lago. Now, some of the neighborhoods are gated, and because there's a golf course and golf course views, it gives you kind of that more upscale, exclusive type of feel. But you also get a lot of diversity in home options, which is really nice to have. And, residents are going to be able to enjoy all of the amenities and walking paths and outdoor things that the community has to offer, as well as proximity to, again, the top rated schools in Arizona being part of Vail. Now, within this community, there also are active adult communities, resort-style amenities, including clubhouses, fitness centers. And so that really makes it ideal for people who are on the verge of retiring, considering retirement, or they're already retired and they're looking for a place to kick back and enjoy retirement. Now, in addition to that, there are some new homes being built as well. So this is kind of a mix of established homes that aren't quite as old as many of the homes in Rita Ranch, but it also has a mix of newer homes being built. You can look at this community here. There have been several builders that have bought different plots of land, subdivided and built over the last decade or so, and that continues. So it's always a moment in time, but you're starting to see that these newer developments as part of Rancho Del Lago have started to pop up. You can see another one here, River Walk at Rancho Del Lago. If you're curious about what new build sites are available in Rancho Del Lago, you got 2 easy options. You can DM me and I'll shoot you a direct list for this neighborhood or any other neighborhood of your choice that has homes that you're looking for. Also, on my website, which is in the description, there is a build a home option. So on the front page, you click build a home, you're able to search in the same MLS that I use, that nobody else has access to except me, but I was able to integrate it into the website. So you have to be a licensed realtor to use that, but I've made it accessible to you. It's going to be a great resource, a lot better than Zillow or Trulia or really anything that you're going to be able to find on the internet. Because you're pretty much using my access. So go use that if you're looking for new builds. And if you have questions, it's easy to get a hold of me and we can connect very easily from there. So next up, we're going to be moving over to an area called Sycamore Canyon. Now, Sycamore Canyon is a really cool neighborhood. I can remember when I first started my appraisal career, first couple years, I worked a lot in Vail. There was a lot of demand for appraisal in Vail for some reason, and so those were a lot of the assignments that I was getting, and spent a lot of time walking through property, doing valuations on property, and really a lot of research on the areas and the values and the history and all that sort of stuff. I got to spend a lot of time in this neighborhood, Sycamore Canyon, and it is beautiful. So if you're considering Vail, definitely take a look at Sycamore Canyon. And Sycamore Canyon is part of this large area here. Now, Sycamore Canyon is really nestled against the backdrop of some amazing mountains, the Santa Rita Mountains, and this neighborhood offers some really cool home options. They're larger homes, spacious homes. They've got community parks, and it's got access from a lot of these homes, really quick access to outdoor activities, hiking trails, biking trails, all sorts of stuff. So you can start to see Sycamore Springs, Sycamore Hills, they've got this big community, and a lot of these homes are built on these kind of ridge lines, these little hills. So you can see that a lot of these homes are going to have pretty incredible views. They've got larger lots there. They got plenty of space between their neighbors. You're getting a little bit more upscale here out in Sycamore Springs or Sycamore Canyon. So you're definitely going to be above the average price in Vail, but you're also pretty reasonable in terms of what you get for the price. Many of these homes, if you were to locate them somewhere else closer to Tucson or in Tucson, say in Catalina Foothills, you probably would be paying 30-40% more. So still able to capture a lot of affordability. If you're looking for something a little bit more bespoke, a little bit more custom, and maybe a little bit more upscale, then this is probably a really good neighborhood for you to check out. Sycamore Canyon, and it is located right off of Houghton Road. So it is south of I-10. Take Houghton Road all the way down. It's probably about a 10 to 15 minute drive to get to I-10. So it does add a little bit of time to your drive, but they do have some grocery stores out here. They've got a little grill. They've got an Ace Hardware. They've got everything that you need to be able to sustain. And you don't have to necessarily go that way. You are also close to Sarita, which is just to the west out here. And they have restaurants, grocery stores, shopping, all that sort of stuff, and lots of amenities here. So you're kind of in between two different areas. If you wanted to shoot up to Vail and hit up the main Vail amenities here, in this area, or you could shoot over to Sarita and take on those amenities, or you could go into Tucson, which is probably going to be about a 40 to 45 minute drive from this location. Still probably very doable. One thing I didn't mention, I just saw it, Tucson International Airport is located here. So again, pretty easy access from Vail, I-10 all the way up. Take Valencia, you're right there. So that is Sycamore Canyon, really cool community to check out. And it is located in this area, Sycamore Canyon. Now, next, what I want to do is I want to take you to one of the newest communities in the Vail area. Now, this is a master plan community, and it's large, and it's creating a lot of buzz in the new construction world in the area, and it's creating a lot of draw to it as well. And I'll talk to you a little bit about why. Now, this community is called Rocking K. Rocking K is located here. There are several different builders that are in this community. There likely is going to be more. They've got a lot of room to develop. You can see the kind of general footprint of where they're going. These are the first couple phases located here. They've got a couple builders currently building and active. And I would imagine some of those same builders would continue throughout this, multi-year builds of this whole community. And there's probably going to be some newer builders that hop on board with different phases as well. So if you're curious about what builders are available in this area and what reputation those builders have, I'm definitely the go-to expert because I've worked in new construction very, very intimately for the last 15 years. So if you want to know the ins and outs of what different builders are doing, which ones are doing things that might align with what you're looking for, shoot me a DM, grab my contact information, let's stay connected, or you can schedule a free Zoom consult by grabbing my Calendly link and just booking a 30-minute consultation. Excited to kind of connect and go from there. So Rocking K is this whole community, and much like a lot of what Vail has to offer, beautiful natural desert landscapes, lots of modern amenities because it's new. As you can imagine, all the pavement is new, the infrastructure is new, the parks are new, all of the playgrounds, everything is new. So if you like that new, fresh feel, then this is definitely something to pay attention to. They've got some really cool amenities that they've built out too, with lots of shade, lots of grass, big parks for soccer, football, whatever you want to do. And they've got a whole lot of these parks going on. You can see their tennis and pickleball courts, basketball courts. So they've got a pretty incredible plan to outfit this area with a lot of cool stuff and a diverse, wide range of different types of housing options. So it does offer direct access to scenic trails, much like a lot of these neighborhoods. That's one of the really cool things about Vail. If you like to take off and go on a quick hike, hey, you can do a lunch break hike. If you work from home, throw on your hiking shoes, throw on some running shoes, go for a quick trail run, be back in 30, 40 minutes. Easy peasy, especially when it's beautiful outside like it is now. We've got highs of in the 70s, clear skies, warm in the sun, cool in the shade. I mean, doesn't get any better than Tucson weather when we're in that sweet spot between probably November to May. So enjoy it. And this community allows you to enjoy it. They're soon going to be building a K-8 school that will service this area as well. And I might have mentioned it is a master plan community. So that's good because it gives you exclusivity to some of the parks, sports courts, and they really have an emphasis on energy efficient homes. And so that kind of makes it a perfect blend of what natural desert beauty there is. You got convenience and really just kind of a friendly community feel and community amenities. Now, as a reminder, stay tuned because I am going to share with you which of these neighborhoods. We got a couple more neighborhoods to go, but wanted to remind you that I am going to be sharing with you with my appraisal experience, which of these neighborhoods is likely to be the best investment for you. I know you're definitely not going to want to miss that since you've watched this far. So stay tuned. I'll be sharing that information with you soon. We got a couple more to go and then we can dive into it. So I definitely have saved some of the best ones for last. This next community is Mountain View Ranch. Now, Mountain View Ranch is located in this area. Now, there are some newer construction homes. This is a little bit more of an upscale. You got large custom and semi-custom homes being built out here. Incredible views. It's really, really an ideal location because of its proximity to the interstate. You don't get a whole lot of highway noise because it is separated. Now, it looks small from the map here, but you're not right off of I-10. Some of these homes that are in this area, you might get a little bit of freeway noise, but if you start to look at the way that this community goes further back, you're really going to have a lot of peace and quiet back here. You're going to completely forget that this interstate is even here, but you're going to have a quick commute, couple minute drive to I-10, and then boom, 30 minutes, you're anywhere you want to be. Meanwhile, you feel like you're completely removed. You got your own slice of heaven. You're on a large lot. Pick a semi-custom or custom floor plan and build from scratch if you want. The other really important thing to note is that there is an emphasis on equestrian friendly properties here. So if you like horses, and this is definitely an option that is probably going to be really attractive to you because, you know, how nice is it to have not only the house that you really want, being off the beaten path, having your horses, trails, all of these washes, you know, are accessible for horseback riding. So you can really take off and ride right from your backyard, but also you're within 15 minutes to a grocery store, even 30 minutes to a Costco and Dave & Buster's. And, you know, if you need to get that city fix, you've got it very, very close. So it's kind of a perfect blend of bringing what horse enthusiasts would like, and that accessibility to trails, the convenience of having your horses on your property, the flexibility of being able to build whatever you want out there, having the space and privacy, but also the proximity to being able to drive just a short distance and grab groceries if you forgot something or anything like that. So Mountain View Ranch, another great area to check out. And this is kind of where it's located. You can see in correlation to Rancho Del Lago, Rita Ranch, and I mentioned Sycamore Canyon, all here. So just kind of reorienting you so that you can kind of see where that is located. All right, and the final one that I'm going to mention is called Coyote Creek. So I'm going to take you over to Coyote Creek, much like I would say Sycamore Canyon. Coyote Creek has a similar feel. Now, you're going to get some larger custom homes as well, semi-custom homes, an emphasis on more luxury in Coyote Creek. And the sites are large. You're talking 1.5 acres to as big as like 4 acres. So it does allow for large luxury custom homes, ample space, lots of privacy, and it's nestled at the foothills of the Rincon Mountains. So you can start to see Rincon Mountains are located here, and you've just got incredible trails, whether you're hiking, biking, or jumping on horseback. You've got just a ton of natural desert landscape that you can explore, lots of scenery. It's adjacent to Saguaro National Park East, which is known for its hiking trails. And so residents, benefit from amazing, breathtaking views of the mountains, just kind of sat right at the foothills of those huge mountains and being surrounded by the serene desert. Now, much like Mountain View Ranch, Coyote Creek is equestrian friendly. So this community features state-of-the-art equestrian centers with arenas, exercise pens, boarding facilities. It really caters to everything you would want as a horse enthusiast. Now, if you're not so much of a horse enthusiast, it still offers a lot of privacy, a lot of exclusivity in the Vail area, and because of where it's located, you really are going to be hard pressed to beat the views. Now, on top of that, if you're not too fixated on the equestrian aspect, there are a lot of recreational facilities that are part of this community as well that you're definitely going to be able to enjoy. So it's got a well-equipped rec center that includes lighted tennis courts, basketball and pickle courts, sand volleyball court. I love me some sand volleyball. So if you end up playing sand volleyball and buying a house from me, we're going to be playing out there for sure. It's got a covered playground, outdoor kitchen facilities, walking paths. So it's got a lot to offer outside of just the equestrian stuff. So if you're not too focused on the equestrian stuff, then it has you covered on the other bases as well. Now, there is an extensive trail system that offers excellent access throughout the community for walking, hiking, biking, horseback riding, really everything that you want to promote an outdoor lifestyle. For me, I live right in the city. So if I want to go on a walk, I'm fighting traffic, noise, Harley screaming by me. It sounds nice to be able to take off on, a 20, 30-minute walk, enjoy the nice 70-degree weather that we have when it's really cool out, and, just be able to enjoy the outdoors. I can see why so many of our clients really like Coyote Creek when we start to show them what it has to offer. Now, the last thing that I wanted to mention about Coyote Creek is they've put an emphasis on protecting the open space. You can start to see homes aren't really on top of each other. I mean, you compare it to like Rita Ranch. I'm gonna pick on Rita Ranch a little bit. Nothing against Rita Ranch. Great community, different type of buyer, but these homes, obviously you can tell they're built a lot closer together, a lot higher density. Now, Coyote Creek, if we go back over here, you can see a lot more space. So that is why we're starting to see 1.5 acre, 4-acre lots. You got a lot more privacy. They protected a lot of the open space between you and your neighbor, and that ensures that over 75% of the land within Coyote Creek remains Sonoran desert vegetation. That really helps preserve the beauty, helps preserve your view, helps preserve your privacy. Pretty cool thing. If I was a buyer, I would definitely want to know that, because for me, that means that my view and what I'm buying today is going to be protected in the future. I want you to comment below which of these neighborhoods that I mentioned so far is really piquing your interest. Leave a comment, let me know. I'd love to share some insight with you, or just kind of get a feel of, now that I've shared my favorite after 15 plus years of working professionally in real estate in this area, I'd love to find out which of these ones that I mentioned is your favorite. Honestly, maybe it's one that I didn't mention. Make sure you post that in a comment. I'm really curious what you're thinking, or what your thoughts are on the Vail area. Now, before I share with you the insight of which of these neighborhoods is the most likely going to be the best investment for you long-term if you're looking to buy in Vail, I want to remind you that I've been living in Tucson my whole life. My dad's family has been in Tucson for over 150 years. So as you can imagine, I've experienced a lot of Tucson, and my family has been here a very long time. I'm a certified real estate appraiser and a real estate agent, and I've been party to over 2,000 real estate transactions. So I get calls and texts from people all the time who are making a move, want some insight, need some expertise and some guidance, and I'd love to put that resource to work for you. So grab my contact information, shoot me a message, however is most convenient. You can text, call, email, or grab my Calendly link and schedule a free Zoom consult for 30 minutes. Would love to get face-to-face with you and connect that way. So here we go. The number one neighborhood that I think will give you the best return on your investment. Caveat, there's no guarantee here, but I would put my money where my mouth is. And if I was buying a home in Vail, I would focus on Rocking K. Now, Rocking K, for a number of reasons, is my choice because there is a segment of Rocking K that has already been established. We've got quite a bit of homes that have been built that aren't new. So we've got years of kind of history of what similar homes have done over the last 5-10 years. But the first phase of this huge, massive community offers 811 homes. You've got builders like Pulte, Lennar, KB Home, Richmond American, providing a big diversity of different homes being built. Now, each of these builders, this is the really important piece, each of the builders have spent the time, money, and energy to have their chief analysts verify that this is going to be a solid investment for them long term, that the future growth of this area and the future growth of this community is solid. They've looked at what could likely happen. They know better than I do, better than you do, better than really most of us do. They're hiring the best economists money can buy to project how well this community is going to do. Is it going to be sustainable? And that their investment, their millions and millions and millions of dollars, are going to be protected in this investment. Now, I don't know about you, but that gives me a lot of confidence in knowing that, hey, these guys can afford to pay people that are the best of the best, and they have access to all the data. They've crunched all the numbers, and they put their money where their mouth is. So I think that because of that, that is one of the biggest reasons that I do believe that this community is going to do really, really well long term. Again, first phase, over 800 homes. You've got some of the biggest national builders already building in there. And homes are ranging between 1,400 and 3,800 square feet, which is kind of a big, wide range for all sorts of different people, from large groups of people, small groups of people, people who are here short-term, long-term, really everything. And future phases are expected to introduce even more neighborhoods and options to accommodate the expected growing demand. Now, also, this is a relatively new community. Now, there are years and years of development that are going to go on here. And if you look historically at what the best time to buy in a community like this is, it's as close to the beginning as possible, because prices are going to be the most affordable and the most reasonable when the community is first starting. As the community develops more momentum and as the real estate market goes on, let's face it, real estate does one thing very, very consistently over time, and that is appreciate. There might be some ups and downs, but generally, if you look at real estate in chunks of 7 to 12 years, there's resounding evidence, decade after decade after decade, that real estate goes up in value. There's appreciation that happens when you look in the 7 and 12 year mark. This is going to be the same. So you're benefiting from that, but you're also benefiting from all of the marketing that these builders are doing. They're attracting buyers who are willing to pay a premium, the next premium in the market, because it's brand new. It's reflective of the highest priced real estate in the area for the square footage and the style of home that they're building. And they've got future plans to build, a 20-acre community park that's going to feature soccer fields, basketball fields, pickleball courts, incredible landscapes. You've got proximity to Saguaro National Park, Colossal Cave Park, which really enhances your recreational use for a lot of the people there. And the extension from Valencia Road has improved the accessibility to this area quite a bit. We just helped a buyer buy a home in here, and I had this same conversation I just had with you with them, and it was between this community and another community in a different area in Vail. And once I showed them the data, once I kind of talked them through what this huge community is going to entail, and once we aligned the fact that they were planning on being in this community or in this house for the next 7 to 10 years, it was an overwhelming yes. This is probably the best financial place for us to be in this community. And on top of that, the home that they got checks all the boxes. So there you have it. That is my 2 cents, putting my appraisal brain to work for you. Now you know all the best neighborhoods in Vail. If you like this video, do me a huge favor, just tap that thumbs up for me and leave a comment below which one of these neighborhoods you're leaning towards. I'm very curious to know. And as always, I like to end these videos with an important reminder. So here you go. Growth happens just outside your comfort zone. So write that one down. Use that as a reminder to kind of direct you for this next phase. And remember, if you're planning on buying or selling a home in the next 12 months, let's get connected. All my contact information is in the description below. You can call, text, email, or schedule a free Zoom consult. Would love to get some FaceTime with you and get connected. Until next time, hope to see you around the neighborhood.